Prayer has always meant a whole lot to me at a very deep level. In my own community of faith, I had a friend that was going in the mission field, and I did the courtesy, I'll pray for you, and she looked me in the eye and she said, "No, you won't." And I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm gonna totally forget."
And it wasn't that I didn't have the will to, is she knew that I didn't have the discipline or a systematic way that she had seen that I had done it in the past.
So ever since then, I've tried to be diligent. I've created a list in my phone on the notepad.
When I commit to pray for someone, I write it down, and I even do try to get back to them and check in on the prayer. So the iPray app just facilitates that. It's just a tool. This project happened to also come about while I was going through some deep trauma. It hit me really suddenly. Overnight, I effectively lost everything that was most important to me. And the worst part about this type of trauma is realizing that I'm the root of the problem. So I knew I needed to get some help. I found this church called Riverview Community Church in Kalama, Washington, and that is where I met Pastor Rob Neuschwanger. And him, his wife, his family, the church, they did what I think a lot of people look for in a church, but sadly often don't get, and that's just incredible grace, love, good counsel. They really taught me how to pray and even to receive God's love for me the way I was.
What is your thoughts about how the iPray app could help us reconnect with God and each other more?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems with prayer is we tend to compartmentalize it and make it an event when, God is always with us. There's a constant sense of His presence, whether we're not aware of that or not. It's like floating through the airwaves right now. There are TV signals, radio signals, do nobody any good at all until you tune in. They're there constantly, but I think walking in awareness that they're always there, and that intentionally tuning in, if we could discipline ourselves to do that more often, what greater tool than a phone, which is already a part of our lives. Before we think it, we got the phone out, right?
Yeah.
But now it's automatic. That a tool that is already fully integrated into our life, it only makes sense that it would become a tool to also awaken the need to pray more regularly, to instead of prayer being just relegated to a religious experience, a worship service or going to hear a sermon, that prayer would become a part of our everyday lives. When somebody texts you and says, "Gosh, I've got a need," you can pray for it immediately, or you've got something that comes to mind, you can grab the phone quickly, share that prayer need with somebody else, and then when answers to prayer are voiced, they come back immediately to that sort of integrating prayer into our everyday life. I think is really powerful.
My name is Brad Davies. I'm the CEO of Brushfire Interactive. We are a custom software development firm, and that means we build mobile apps and websites. When Giancarlo came to us with the idea for iPray, we were immediately excited about it. One, because nothing on the market exists like it, and a lot of our expertise and things we've done historically lines up really well to bring this product to market.
I'm Nathan Thomas. I'm the user interface designer at Brushfire Interactive. I've been involved with the iPray app from the beginning, where we've begun to take Giancarlo's concept from an idea and started to bring it to life.
We at Brushfire are really interested in this project. In fact, we've kind of discounted our rate to help bring this to life and trying to do it not only efficiently and affordably and produce a great product, but we're also personally reducing our costs, which is our way of pitching in.
This app was kind of driven out of my own needs, and as I share with folks, there is no business plan behind this app. If it helps me pray more consistently for others and my own relationship with God, great. If it can help a few more folks, even better.
We can always reach out to God in an instant moment. We don't need a phone to do that. But the idea that it will help foster Christian community and decompartmentalize prayers, I just want to challenge people with the idea that compartmentalization can be very dangerous to spirituality. God is constant. When we remain faithful, He's faithful. How awesome is that? He's a part of every part of our lives, and something as simple as a phone app that can already fully integrated in our lives. prayer becomes a part of that. I think in some ways it'll help us decompartmentalize spirituality. There's got to be a place where it's safe to be real. The church, one of our goals is to create a Christian community where it's safe to be real. And I think in the same way, I pray, hopefully it's a tool where it's safe to be real.